Alright, what's going on, everybody? I just wanted to get a second video out today about alternatives to down payment assistance programs. So again, my name is Omar. I'm a licensed realtor in Florida with Bay Area Property Exchange. I'll put my contact information below, and you can always follow me on any of my social media platforms. So let's get into it here. Alright, so USDA is going to be my favorite alternative to down payment assistance programs, and here's the reason why. It's 100% financing. VA is also very similar. Actually, VA would probably be a little bit better. However, you have to be a veteran. So if you've ever served in the military, you get the best, which we should. I also was in the Army, so you definitely should get the best. So let's see here. So if you just do a quick Google search, USDA eligibility, okay, and click on the first one here that says this right there, the eligibility, the one that says .gov, not this other one that says USDA loans. That's an advertisement. So this one right here, if you want, again, my wife's company, they're phenomenal with USDA loans. Absolutely give them a call. So this one right here that says USDA eligibility, that's the one you want to click on. So you click on that. The only downfall to USDA is they have very strict income limits, very strict debt to income ratios, and it has to be a property in a rural area that they designate as a rural area. But there's some tricks. A lot of times it's just a little bit further away. So let's just go into it here real quick. All right, so once you get onto this website, right, go onto the single family housing guaranteed, okay? And you can play around with this yourself. You can see if the house that you have right now qualifies for it, just so you can kind of get an idea. But it's gonna show you a map. Of course, this is a map of the United States. You can zoom in and whatnot. I'm gonna put in one of my old addresses here. This is an apartment complex that I used to live at. Player circle, this keyboard, man. Player circle, that was in Lutz, Florida. Okay. So, just some kind of keynotes. Over here in Tampa, Florida, right around here, we have an outlet mall. Right around where this 54 and Wesley Chapel Boulevard meet, there's an outlet mall, bunch of malls, restaurants all around here to the east. But if you look at it, right, this area right here is not eligible, but if you go right across the street, these places right here are eligible. Now, here's what I love about, and this is just me, my own personal area where I'm at. This is what I love about USDA. If you look at this little area right here, Lexington Oaks, Grand Oaks, Stagecoach Village, right? Those three right there. Literally, this road is a dividing line. But those three complexes, and even up here, if you're somebody who wants private land and big land, these areas right here, this is Quail Hollow, pretty much. All of this is, they have a lot more space. But you can find places like this, which again, the government's determined that this is a rural area, even though if you jump on 75, again, a great thing about where I live at, it splits into 275 and I-75, and you can get to any part of Tampa you want within about 20 to 30 minutes. So is it really that far away? No, not necessarily. But let's take a look here and see. Here's a good area, right? Carrollwood, right? Over here, I have a few friends that live around this Carrollwood area. Well, if we look, I mean, that's really not that far away from some of these eligible areas right here. Carrollwood, Lake Magdalene. I mean, this might be a 10-15 minute drive. You know, so is it worth it to drive an extra 10-15 minutes away and you don't have to put any money down? Okay, so USDA is a great one that I like. Now, here's some of the things that, you know, we've got to deal with USDA, right? Oh, I thought I had it up here already. Where is it at? It's probably the wrong one. Oh, here we go. Credit ratios, right? So we see right here, credit ratios, 29% for the housing expense, 41% down here for their total incomes. There goes that debt to income ratio. So the main one that's a killer is at 41%. So remember how we discussed yesterday that $2,000 monthly, or I'm sorry, the $4,000 a month that you made? Well, with this one, you could only pretty much make $1,640 would be the most that you would be able to do if you made $4,000 a month, and that's for your total debt. That includes credit cards, student loans, car loans. The other thing about USDA is that there are income restrictions. So you can only make so much money, and it depends as to how many people you have in your house. It's going to be very similar to this Realtors Care page that I was alluding to in my previous video, where it's going to be similar to this for like Hillsborough and Pasco County. You know, if you've got 3-4 people in the household, you know, it's going to be somewhere around there. Don't quote me on this. Really, you want to speak with a lender more so. But that's going to be the best thing for you here. The other thing about the USDA loan program is that there are page 25, I want to say it was. Yeah, so here we go. Credit underwriting, okay? So here's the thing. Remember how I said about credit scores? You can read all of these here on your own. And I'll put some links on to this page here as well. But if you look at the credit underwriting guidelines, with a 680 credit score or better, you know, it's a basic level. But when you get to a credit score less than 640, you know, it's going to be very cautious. They're going to have to scrutinize everything in your credit. So that's why it pays to have better credit. Let me see. There was one other one I wanted to look at here. Under the ratios. Here we go. Sorry, they actually recently changed it. It used to be 43%. So there are a few waivers here. If you have a credit score of 680 or greater, they actually will allow you to go from 29% on the front end. That's what how much just your house is, the portion of your house for your debt to income. They'll allow that to be bumped up to 32%. And then the total ratio to be bumped up to 44%. So, you know, that's actually a great, that's starting to be a little bit better. So if we do that math, 44%, goodness, man, I think that's going to be 1760. I want to say somebody check the math on that. 44% of 4,000. That's just quick math there. But, yeah, so I mean, USDA is a great product here. Again, I'm going to put a link below for this so you guys can play around with it. There's something else that you can do, right? And so again, USDA is 100% financing. I had an example of this, right? I just took a screenshot of this. Sorry. Where is it at? All right, here's a screenshot for, I had some clients, and this was back in April. They closed back in April of this year. And so you can take a look and see, right? They had a $203,000 loan, right? There's, of course, the USDA guarantee fee. I want to show you here that, you know, this is a USDA property, right? And then look, that's a USDA fee. You don't have to pay that up front. That's included in your mortgage. They add that onto your loan. But I just want to show you. So you see the file number S32332, S32332, that was on April 10th, right? Look at how much they had to pay, right? Due from borrower, $733.90. That's all that they had to come to the table with, okay? So another alternative aside from USDA is going to be, or maybe you do have to get an FHA loan, because as we saw in the previous map, not all of the areas qualify for a USDA loan. So let's say, you know what, I really want to live somewhere downtown or somewhere close downtown, but you know, I saved up a little bit of money, but I don't have enough money to pay for my closing costs. I need some assistance, or even you can combine this with a USDA loan. I need some assistance. Rather than doing what we talked about in the previous video, where you have 3-4%, and you're having to take out an additional loan, and you know you're only paying interest, and you got to pay it back. Instead, what you can do is you can pretty much, let's say, I have another example of this here, right? This client right here that closed in May, just a couple months ago, right? His base loan, when he qualified for his house, was a 4% interest rate. He did an FHA loan, so he did have to put down 3.5%. So if you look at it, right, look down here. What the lender did, the lender gave him a little bit higher interest rate. It wasn't much of a difference. I want to say it was 0.25%. And on a $167,000 loan, 0.25% was only, I want to say, $29 a month extra, $22. It was something very small, less than $30 a month extra on his loan, and they were able to give him $2,400. He doesn't have to repay that back. Yeah, I want to say it was $22. It was a small amount. But so for $2,400, doesn't have to pay it back. He can refinance that loan. Let's say interest rates drop even more. He can refinance that loan, that mortgage, and guess what? Doesn't have to pay that $2,400 back. So this is why I say that there's alternatives to down payment assistance programs. If you want to know more, listen, I'm happy to help out. Give me a call. I'm certainly happy to go ahead and help anybody out, and we can go over your scenario, whether you want to sell your house and buy another one, whether you want to buy your first home. Let's talk, let's have a little meeting, and I'm happy to help out. Anyway, please remember, like, share, comment, subscribe. I really would appreciate it. Sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Anyway, thanks a lot, and I hope everybody has a great day.